A few months after the fighting of Operation Revival ceased, the Draconis Combine Admiralty presented a report to the coordinator. The document showed that even with a Combine warship program running at maximum, the naval capacities of a Combine were seriously lacking and would be unable to withstand the resolute attack of Clan Ghost Bear. If the Bears decided to attack the Pesht Military District with their entire warship fleet, they could not be stopped. Although this situation would call for the Bears to disregard Zellbrigen completely, their attempts to integrate the clan with the local population made this at least possible. The coordinator, displeased with this statement, instructed the Admiralty to find a way to stop the Ghost Bear warships. Increasing their own warship fleet was not really feasible. The Combine was already running thin on resources, so they needed a cheaper alternative. The DCA decided that what they really wanted was a way to get capital weapons into the fight so that they could destroy warships. And though the warship production lines were running at full speed, dropship manufacturers still had some capacity available. So they decided to build a new dropship that would be able to face full-sized warships. The Nekohono'o Flying Cat class assault dropship was the result. It was planned to be one of the biggest dropships in existence, but still used the Mechwarrior or Rose class as basis. This step allowed to fast-track the design and prototype stage of the build process. The Combine engineers didn't stop with weaponry to make the Nekohono'o a threat to enemy warships. The Cats are also designed to deploy 9 NL-42 Battletechs from Bay 2, each carrying 10 battle armor-wearing infantrymen, who can assemble in Bay 3. Having 90 suits of Kage or Raiden armor running around their ship is enough to make any warship captain pause. Bay 3 is also the assembly area for the remaining 18 battle armor troops, who are assigned to defend the Nekohono'os from enemy boarding attempts. To cover the Battletechs as they approach their targets, Bay 1 was converted into a launch facility for a squadron of Combine aerospace fighters. To feed and supply all 108 infantrymen, 6 fighter pilots, their technical support staff and the crew, Bay 4 is capable of carrying 587 tons of cargo. To accomplish its primary mission, the main offensive punch for the Nekohono'o class comes from the 3 Kraken T launchers mounted in the nose. These massive missiles are capable of inflicting large amounts of damage to an attacking dropship or warship. Supplementing these is a suite of conventional weaponry designed to drive off enemy aerospace fighters and small craft. The LBX autocannon and pulse lasers make a hit against these smaller targets more likely, while the Artemis and Streak missile systems ensure that any missile that locks onto a target will cause serious damage. Finally, the Nekohono'o can impede enemy fire by using a pair of screen launchers to launch obscurants and noisemakers between itself and the enemy. Variants: Nekohono'o HQ. Developed at BBP Industries, planned on New Samarkand by Charles Mitchell Lamb III, this experimental version of a Nekohono'o class is intended to coordinate ground combat operations while simultaneously provide fire support. By removing the MRM system, designers found enough room to mount a pair of cruise missile 120 launchers and a sextet of cruise missile 70 launchers. These heavy weapons allow the Nekohono'o to support ground combat operations from kilometers away, much like the Fortress-class dropship. For close artillery support, the ship mounts a quartet of Arrow 4 missile launchers. One consequence of this is the removal of all but one of the Kraken T launchers from the ship's nose. To increase the defensive firepower of the ship, the standard ER-PPCs were replaced by heavy PPCs, and the remaining MRM launchers received the Apollo Fire Control System upgrade. Over 500 double heatsinks control the heat generated by all these weapons. Additionally, the small craft bays have been replaced by a company of mechs. To remain relevant in space combat, the Nekohono'o HQ is equipped with a large naval comm scanner suite and a naval C3 system. The Nekohono'o SCL. Another version developed during the Jihad, the Nekohono'o SCL replaces the Kraken T launchers with a battery of sub-capital lasers. Like the Nekohono'o's HQ, the SCL version carries a naval C3 system. It should be mentioned that the class was named to pay honor to Clan Novacat, and once the prototypes were completed, several were sent to the clan, not only for testing and feedback, but also as a sign of trust and goodwill between the Combine and their new allies.